Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get a fully drugstore prom makeup tutorial. That didn't really make sense. And I pretty much used like a bunch of my favourite drugstore products in this video. So yeah, I hope you find it helpful, and if you do have prom coming up then hopefully you can take some inspiration from this. And I tried to do it kind of relatively neutral, that it will match with most dress colours, but obviously if you want to switch up any of the colours and just kind of do the same steps but using different colours, then absolutely go for it. So I just kind of went for a super kind of nude, girly, pretty eye with a nude lip and like a super glowy skin, obviously, because that's what I'm all about. So to start off, I know that everyone is going to ask me what primer I use, and I've spoken about this before, but I don't really use like traditional primers because I find the kind of silicone-y ones make my makeup kind of like slip around more. I don't know if that's just me, but what I like to use as primer is something with glycerin in it to make my face sticky. One of my favourites, actually this bottle is nearly empty, this is the Soap & Glory Speed Pump All Day Moisture Marvel, and yeah, in the ingredients of this has got glycerin, so it really makes your makeup stick to your face, which is what you want really when you go into prom. So I'm just going to put some of this on. Also it smells incredible too. Also excuse this broken nail. Once you rub it in, it starts to get like a little bit tacky, which is what you want. So if you didn't see my top 10 drugstore foundations video the other day, then if you're looking for a new drugstore foundation, I would recommend checking it out. But I mentioned in that my favourite drugstore foundation is the Revlon Colour Stay for oily to combination skin. If you do have oily skin, then I would really recommend this. It's a great drugstore foundation, and I have the shade Buff. I've just realised I was going to do some colour correcting, but I've completely forgot. Oh well, let's just skip past it. And I'm just using a sponge to kind of bounce this into my skin because I want it to be like really kind of pushed into my skin, if that makes sense. This one is from Blank Canvas Cosmetics, I think. I also really like the Real Techniques sponges. They do some really good ones in the drugstore. Okay, so that is my foundation done. As you can see, it's got a pretty good coverage. So my favourite drugstore concealer of all time is the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. I'm sure you guys all know that because I use this in pretty much every video. I like to blend my concealer in with my finger just because I find that it's the quickest and it gives the best coverage. When I use like a beauty blender or something, I find it takes away from the coverage a lot, so I like to use my finger. Also just going around the edges of my nose. Obviously for your base makeup, if you have really good skin, you definitely don't need to wear like as heavy coverage as I am. Literally just do like as heavy a base as you feel comfortable with, because you want to feel comfortable on your prom. Okay, so I'm now going to powder my face. I'm using the Rimmel Match Perfection Silky Loose Face Powder. I absolutely love this powder. I think it's $5 or $6.99, which is quite pricey for like a drugstore powder because a lot of them are like £2 or £3. But this one is definitely worth it. I have the shade Transparent. And what I love about this one is it doesn't flash back. And what that means is a lot of the powders that you get in the drugstore that are like loose powders but they're white, or even pressed powders that are white, even if they're not white, a lot of pressed powders and loose powders, when you take flash photography, it comes up with all these like white splotches on your face, which you can't see in normal light, but when you take flash photos, it will then kind of, you know, flash back and create that weird like white cast on your face, whereas this powder doesn't do that, so I really like it. I start with under my eyes just to set that first because they're the areas that tend to crease the most, so I like to put quite a bit under my eyes. When you go to prom, you want to use your favourite stuff, so this is pretty much a kind of like favourites from the drugstore type of video. So for my eyebrows, I'm using my Freedom Eyebrow Pomade in the shade Taupe. This is waterproof, it's not going to smudge, like it's going to last you all night. Mine looks disgusting. And if you're not comfortable using like a brow pomade, maybe try using a powder because it looks a lot more natural. But I mean, obviously if you don't want to fill in your brows, don't fill in your brows, but I think it does help a bit because again, when you're taking flash photos, your brows can sometimes kind of disappear. I normally go for quite a bold brow, but if you don't want to, then absolutely don't. I like to fill in the end of my eyebrow first, and then when I get to the front, I just use what's left on the brush to draw a line underneath and then kind of flick upwards like this, and I apply less pressure, and that way you get that kind of gradient brow. So when I use a brow pomade, I don't tend to set my brows into place just because I find that the pomade keeps in there pretty well. But if you are using a powder, I would recommend using something to set your brows. And I like this one. It's literally just like one from the Body Shop, which is the Brow and Lash Gel. And it's pretty much just a clear mascara. So I'm just going to run a bit of this through my brows. So to contour my face, my favourite contour, as I'm sure you guys know, is actually looking a bit worse for wear now. It is the Freedom Contour Pan in the shade 03. And I know that people are annoyed that I don't think you can get this in Superdrug, but honestly, if you are as pale as me, this is worth ordering off the Tan Beauty website, I promise, because it is, as you can see, like, it's not too dark. Like, this is the palest contour shade that I've found. It's such a good colour. It doesn't look muddy or anything, which I absolutely love. So this is definitely my favourite. And then if you want something a little bit more intense, which I'm probably going to dip into a bit today, the Contour Pan in 04 is also really, really good. It's just a tiny little bit darker. So I just get a bit on my brush like this. This is the Morphe M557. All of my brushes are linked in the description. Circle my cheekbones and just add a little bit at a time, blending upwards. I'm not amazing at contouring, but the more I practice, the more I kind of get used to it. So just put some of that around my hairline. Okay, so maybe I went a bit overboard there, but you get the gist. I put too much in this like one patch. Okay, so now for my favourite part, which is highlighting. I'm using the... Actually, I can't remember if I've used this even on my channel yet. Have I spoken about this before? I don't think I have. This is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Pro Glow palette, and this is literally my new favourite thing. I've had it for a couple of weeks, but I absolutely love it. There's pretty much a colour for everyone in here. Oh wait, maybe I have spoken about it. I spoke about it in the Jeffree Star video, didn't I? But yeah, this is £10 for 8 shades. So I'm just going to dip into this one here, which is like the pinky one, which is my favourite. Get a bit on my brush and go to town. Oh, oh. Look, oh my. So moving on to the eyes, I'm using the new, wait, it's really dirty, let me just wipe it on my leg. This is the new Flawless palette from Makeup Revolution. I've been having a lot of requests to do a review of this, so I thought I'd just include it in this video. So it's just got like shiny rose gold packaging, and this is the Flawless 3 Resurrection. And as you can see, it's just full of these gorgeous warm shades. This is pretty much everything I want in a palette and more. So I'm gonna start off by taking this colour here, and I'm just gonna run this through my crease, and I'm also running a bit of this along my lower lash line, just using the very tip of the brush. People get so angry at me for doing this. Okay, so I'm then going for the colour next to it, which is just slightly darker, and I'm going to put that on the kind of outer half of my eyelid and just blend that through my crease. And just every time you add a colour, just blend out the edges and start with the palest colour and build up to the darkest. And then taking a smaller brush, and I'm just going to run that same shade along my lower lash line. I'm really trying to avoid these colours down here just because I don't want this to turn into my kind of normal tutorial where I do like pinky red sort of colour. I want to keep this fairly kind of neutral, like I said. So I think I'm going to take this colour down here, which is sort of like a mauvey sort of colour. Maybe this will like go with my hair, but I feel like a kind of rosy sort of mauvey toned eyeshadow look will pretty much go with every dress. The matte colours in this palette are so pigmented. Is go for a tiny bit of this dark brown colour down here and just take a little bit of a smaller brush. I'm just going to put that on my outer corner. Yeah, I feel like that really added some nice like dimension. Okay, so that is the matte colours done. I'm then literally just taking a flat brush again, and I'm going to take this kind of champagne-y sort of gold colour, and I'm just going to put this on the kind of inner part of my eye. And then for my inner corners, I'm taking this colour here, which is kind of like a pale shimmery pink, and I'm just using a small brush to put this on my inner corners just to really kind of brighten them up. And then I am going to add winged liner just because for my prom I would definitely do a winged liner, but I know that it's definitely not for everyone. My two favourite drugstore eyeliners are the NYX Epic Ink Liner, which you guys all know that I love. And then another absolute favourite of mine is the Soap & Glory Super Cat Skinny. This is the skinny version with the tiny little nib. This one is incredible as well. They're both super black and super long lasting. Unfortunately, my Soap & Glory one has run out, so I'm not going to be using that. So I'm going to be using my NYX one today. And if you want to know how I do my eyeliner, I do have a tutorial. Just type in like sophdoesnails eyeliner and it should come up. So for mascara, one that I've tried and tested recently, which I absolutely love. This is probably my favourite drugstore mascara, like, of the year so far. This is the L'Oreal Miss Baby Roll Mascara. I absolutely love this stuff. So I'm just going to put on some of this. I am going to put on lashes, but again, if you don't feel comfortable wearing lashes, then prom is not the best time to start. Okay, so that's what the mascara looks like by itself. As you can see, it's incredible, but I am actually just going to add some fake lashes just because that's what I would normally do. So I'm using these Lovable Lashes 522 lashes. They don't come with glue, but I just like to use the Eyelure one. I think these are $2.99, so they're super affordable, and I just love the way that these ones kind of flare out at the edges. So I'm going to use some lip liner, a lip liner from Primark, and one of the Collection Velvet Kiss lip creams, because I feel like this is going to be more comfortable to wear all night rather than like a super drying liquid lipstick. So I'm going to start off by using the PS Love lip pencil. I think this is just in the shade Nude, and this is actually a dupe for MAC Velvet Teddy. So now that I've filled up my whole lips, I'm just going to go over the top with the Velvet Kiss from Collection in the shade Caramel. Oh, I nearly forgot the last step. So the last thing I'm going to do is set my face, and I'm going to use the I Heart Makeup Fixing Spray. This is just going to like prolong your makeup and make you look a little less matte. And there we have it. So that is it for this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. If you have any other kind of recommendations for makeup that you think will last really well for prom or whatever, then let me know in the comments down below, and hopefully you guys can all kind of help each other out. Yeah, that's that. Also, secondly, I will have my 300,000 subscriber giveaway up soon. It is coming, but today's video I wanted to do the drugstore prom tutorial because I'm going out later and I wanted to just do my makeup on camera. I'm kind of really sad that you didn't get to see my sleeves in this video because they're pretty cool. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!